everyone, this is Patrick, Comics and Collectibles, and this is part 2 of this Carnage. I forgot what the title is already. Alright, well, you'll see the title and you will know what the title is. Let's do it that way. Alright, anyway, this was a 3D model I had printed some time ago. I did not really care for it. Still don't care for it at this point, but I'm starting to care because I have a plan in mind to improve it, to make it better. I made plans for this in part 1 of this video, so if you're interested in the plans, you can go check that out. But I will hit on a little bit some parts of that plan in this video. And as you can see, I'm already working on it. Where's my pointer? I'm already implementing those plans. Some of the things are going according to plan, some are not, and you know that's the way things go. I have put some epoxy clay in some of these areas here where it was needed. On the hands also, and as you can see right here, there were some holes in the side of his face, so I covered those up. These eyes, if you can see right there where that clay is, that was the top of his eye. I think his eyes are too slim, too narrow. Yeah, his eyes are too narrow. So the plan is I'm gonna take this, the top part of his eye is gonna be probably somewhere up here. That's why I put the clay here. And I'm also considering making his head higher. I may add some clay up here to make his head higher. And as you can see on the back of his head, you see where the pencil mark is? The plan is to cut off that part of his head. I think his head is too long. We'll see what happens. Let me see, that's it. No, okay, now on the neck. I cut away part of his neck because his neck looks too thick. I'm also going to be cutting away this part right here where the pencil mark is. I'll be cutting that part off, and I'll show you what's the plan is. What's the plan is. All right, that's not proper English at all. All right, I'll show you what the plan is for this head in just a moment. Let's see. Let's talk about all the stuff down here. I know you're wondering what's going on with all that crap down there. All right, let's start off with this. This is one of my tools. It's a round file. And I was filing something. I put too much pressure on it. I think I was filing this. And I'll get back to that in a moment too. So once I broke it, I was about to throw it away. And then I thought, man, I need something. I need a rod or something to put into the legs to give the legs some strength. Because if you're familiar with resin, and this is resin, I think it's resin. I'm sure it's resin. Okay, if you're familiar with this type of material, you know that it can be kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Okay, put it this way. Over time, it tends to fail or it tends to bend, or I don't want to say melt, but it can get soft, and over time the leg might start leaning because the material just been sitting. And it may have some weight on it, so it might start to lean. So to avoid that, what I did is once my file broke, I stick the big part of that file into this leg. It probably goes up to there. And that's to support it in case in the future this starts to bend. Now, one thing I wanted to avoid was making this more top heavy than it already is. And I think I failed in that area, but I'll get back to that in a moment. Now, in order to accomplish that, the plan was to put baking soda down here in the bottom portion of the legs. You know, baking soda is relatively heavy, so that would weigh down the bottom part of it. And the plan was to put some hot glue up here. Now, there is baking soda here, and there's hot glue here. So I'm good on that part. And the legs are substantially heavier than they were. And I plugged up, as you can see, I plugged up the bottom and the top part of the leg with some hot glue to keep the baking soda from coming out. let's talk about the arms. Okay, that's out the way. The arms. This part is hollow. I'm thinking about drilling a hole into here and filling this with hot glue. I'm not sure yet. And I have already put some hot glue into the upper arm. And also, this was not part of the original plan, but I'm thinking about putting some magnets in the arms and in the legs. Okay, and let's talk about the hot glue briefly. No, we'll save that for later. So that's it for the arms. Talk about that in a moment. Okay, that's it. Let's get to the body here. All right, let's take a look at this first before I stand them up. As you can see, this is filled with hot glue here. And this part I cut out so that I could get access to this and put hot glue into it, because it had small holes, but they were too small to work with. So I enlarged this. And once I started cutting this with my Dremel, some of the parts, that's what this is here, some of the pieces start breaking off. And so I'm going to repair this. Once I'm done working in here, I'm going to repair this with some epoxy clay. And I'm also thinking about putting some magnets here. Let me see. I think that's it. Oh no, one more thing. Now, and that's what this is for. Let's go up here first. The top part, again, folks, the plan was to keep the top part as light as possible. But like I said, I failed because, let's flip this over, give you a complete picture. Once I started drilling here, the plan was to drill a hole here wide enough so I could put hot glue into this and coat the inside of this so that if it ever falls, that it won't just fracture everywhere. It may crack, but it won't fracture and break into 100 pieces. That was the plan. But once I started drilling the hole with my Dremel to put the hot glue in, I started getting a crack. It started cracking here, and then the crack kind of slowly, the more I worked with it, the longer the crack got, and I had to put some super glue on here to keep it from cracking more. Anyway, once I got the hole drilled in, I coated the inside with hot glue. Again, that's to keep it from falling apart if it ever breaks, if it ever falls over. And I put, let me see, probably from here up is pretty solid. It's pretty much filled with hot glue. And I did that. Once I got the crack, I said, let me go ahead and just fill it up just to be safe. And that, of course, made it heavier. And now from here down is just coating around the inside of the walls of the torso. And let me see. Now this is the supports. This is what's inside of the statues. Now I took out all of it, and because I wanted to get the glue to go all the way down, so I took all of the supports out. I probably from here down, I stuck some of these broken pieces of support in so that the hot glue would have something to stick to. Now from here down is pretty solid with hot glue. Here up is just the walls is coated, but from here down is pretty much solid. Let me see what else. And I think I said already, but yeah, the plan is to put magnets here, magnets on the arms. And my music has stopped, so that's telling me it's time to wrap this video up. And I'm going to try to put magnets on the head. Now let's talk about this head briefly. I said I would. Now when I got this model, the head was in a position like that. He was looking down, and I did not like that. The position of the head did not go with the arms. And I can't show you. I should have put this phone on a tripod, but it's too late for that now. Okay, so the head is, hold on. I'm getting it, folks. I'm getting it. The arms are raised like this. Hold on, now you can see it. The arms are raised like he's pissed off, or he's shouting, probably cursing out Spider-Man or Venom. He got his arms raised. He's raging. So I thought it would look better if his head was like looking up and like he was like yelling or screaming or whatever Carnage does when he's pissed off. So that's what I'm going for. And let's see if I can turn this around again. Now, as you can see around the neck area. Okay, I almost dropped my pointer. Right here, you can't see it from this position, but it's kind of wide, the neck right here. So I'm going to be trimming this down. And his neck, before I cut the neck here, his neck was way out to here. And I felt that was too thick. So I'm going to, and this is epoxy clay, by the way, right there. What I'm going to do is bring the neck to probably here and maybe here. And of course, I'll be cutting this down to connect with that part of the neck. And I believe that is it so far, folks. I'm liking the way this is going right now. The plan is to also, once I get all this preliminary work done and I start adding detail to it, and I'm going to start with the head. That needs a lot of detail work. I will be giving him the symbiote tendrils, that's the black stuff, and I'm going to have that running all over his body. And so that's it for now, folks. Let me see, there's one thing I'm forgetting that it's not coming to me right now. Oh, okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Normally when I get a package, and especially when I get a model or a statue, I like to do the packaging overview and also do an overview of the item that I received. I did not do it in this case because this was not planned. It came up all of a sudden and I just jumped right into it. So let me show you the height. It's roughly 21, where is it at? If I attach the head, it's going to be around 21, maybe 22 inches tall. This is a tall one, folks. And the person who made it for me has made a majority of my models I've received. So if you're interested in where I got this, please leave a comment and I'll get you in touch with him, give you his information, whatever. Let me see, what else? And as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 parts to this model. Pretty basic. And I have to stress that this is a low poly model. And basically that means there's not a lot of detail to it. As you can see, he doesn't even have nipples. All right. And let me see, what else do I want to talk about? All right, I think that's it for this. Okay, folks, I want to thank you for watching this video and thank you for supporting the channel. Bye.